Okay, everybody. So here we go. So this is basically when you gather in the auditorium for whatever ship you're on, and they kind of call out the names for the different excursions, and then you kind of line up and head out. This excursion was the longest line, so that that made me a little worried because I was like, man, it's gonna be way too many people on this thing. But they actually split it up into different groups, different buses, so it actually wasn't that bad. So you pop out the ship, you walk along the dock area. It's about a 5 minute or so walk. You pass these naval ships. I don't know really what they are. Guys trying to get you to take pictures, but they were pretty cool about it. Not too much pressure. Um, so yeah, now we're getting to the port right now. Like I said, about 5 minutes of a walk, and then they kind of say, hey, Lazy River, Cenote, whatnot, whatever it's called, whatever your excursion is called, they'll tell you to line up in a certain space. And as you can see, that line was pretty long. And then, to my surprise, the shopping experience was really nice, really modernized. There wasn't a bunch of shacks everywhere. Plenty of places to shop and pick up souvenirs or whatnot. I didn't purchase anything, but I know my wife did. Prices are negotiable, but I think everything in the port is pretty much priced out to accommodate tourists. So it's pretty much retail. So you're not going to get the rawest deal shopping over there in the port. But yeah, it was just a couple minutes to walk through this thing, but it was pretty cool. They had music. It was definitely a good vibe. You got to check out the people, and yeah, I liked it. It was pretty cool and very well put together. It was a great experience just to walk through there. So yeah, then once you get through there, you have your excursions. They got the buses all lined up. This is Spicy. He's the tour guide, and he was pretty cool, very knowledgeable guy, and that's the bus driver. The bus itself was really nice. After walking in that hot sun, it was nice to jump on the bus, and it was air conditioned, seats super comfortable. It felt better than the airplane. It was really nice. I guess the company's Cancun Discovery, who takes these buses out. They greet you with water once you get off the bus. And this is the first destination. So these videos are going to be broken up into two videos. So the first video, we're visiting the Mayan Ruins.
Okay, Spicy Group. Let's circle them. Spicy Group, come over here. Okay,
So
I'll give you a ticket per person. Okay?
yeah, so they're called Spicy Groups. So this particular guy, he kind of named this group Spicy Group because everybody calls him Spicy. They
Okay,
hand you
team.
the
I know that
tickets.
some of you are already watching just right there and are ready to run and everything. Stay with me like 15, 20 minutes, no more than that, and I promise you, you have more than 40 minutes on your own. The place that we are visiting, the name is Majapan. It's a real archaeological site. We are not stopping in every single building that we have in front of us. The reason it will take us like 6 hours to do something like that. Although we love to, that's not the reason of today's experience. Is to have, to enjoy, to explore. We go to an area that has some shaded spots. The idea is that when we talk, we are shaded the most possible, and then you decide how much sun you want to have as you're exploring around. Okay? But remember, follow me when I say this class dismissed, then we dismiss the class, and you're welcome to explore a little bit more. Come with me this way. Children, you place the machete. Machete.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, team. Welcome to Mayapan then. The area that we're visiting will be only the administrative central area of the city. Translating that to real thing. The busy area of the city. Okay, we are not having a lot of the housing areas where the people used to live. This is the area where the people used to work. So when I explain some of the buildings, I will go for things that are easy to recognize for you.
So yeah, I decided to go off on my own as soon as I could, but I did go through the tour very knowledgeable. He tells you a lot of details about the ruins and whatnot. But I couldn't record myself going up this one because it was so steep and so high, but very beautiful from the top. There was a ton of people that were about to go up, so I just rushed up and I wasn't able to record it. But it's definitely pretty steep, so you got to kind of crawl up. But once you get there, it's definitely worth it. And then when you go down, you just kind of scoot down the steps. So this is kind of an example on another one that I was able to record. It's not as steep as the first one, but you always gotta have four hands. I mean, I'm holding the camera, but it's always good to kind of lean forward, doggy style, and crawl up that way because they are pretty steep. But as you can see, I did it in flip flops, so no big deal. There was a lot of people around, but still areas where you can kind of get away and explore on your own. And there's not much inside of these things, just pretty much, your walls and, no treasure or anything inside of them like everybody would think. But it's still pretty cool nonetheless. So, yeah, I just decided to kind of go off and do my own thing, which I think is the best option. It took a few minutes to get around this thing. I would say it did take a good 30, 45 minutes, like the gentleman said. But it was very cool to kind of just take a look at this history and just see the structures that are still up to this day. I believe they're 1,000 years old or some crazy number like that. But it's a big area and definitely pretty cool. I highly recommend the experience. And like I said, the tour was great. You learned a lot about the history and what they did in this area. It's a lot of places, like, as you can see, people kind of climbing up, checking things out, trying to get photo opportunities. But yeah, you pretty much just roam it on your own. And today wasn't too crazy. Our group they were good about switching out the groups. So like as ours was coming in, one was coming out. That way you don't have hundreds of people in here. I mean, because like I said, when we got on the line, I was like, man, there's going to be so many people. But since they split it up into different buses, it worked out a lot better that way. And, just going up, checking things out. But if you're into history, new experiences, I mean, this is definitely something you should do. As you can see, I'm walking around with my mouth open because I'm a mouth breather. I can't help it. Yeah, it was hot. It was hot. I'm not even going to lie. But I definitely enjoyed myself, just kind of, experiencing the ruins and just checking every little detail out. And that's the bigger one that I climbed originally. So this part right here is actually the internal of the ruin. So this is the preserved part right here where you can see there's writing on the wall and stuff. I didn't get the best shot, but you can see those holes, and actually that's where they used to put people's heads. They were displayed, their enemies' heads in those holes. And then this rock right here was actually a place where they sacrificed people that they went to war with, and they would chop their head off and let them look up the pyramid, and that was kind of like the pyramid to heaven. So it was like an honorable thing to do, to die as a warrior that way. And it's just some different different little structures or whatnot. Another hole, they would put someone's head in there. It's crazy stuff that you learn on the tour. But I didn't want to just sit there and record the whole thing. It took about a little 20, 30 minutes for him to do that. But it was, like I said, super knowledgeable. Definitely, I would recommend going through the tour so you can learn about what you're looking at. Or you could go off on your own. It's pretty much on you. But yeah, so we got the Cenotes, Lazy River coming up on the next video.